My name is Regis, and I am a program manager at a large hospital system in Ohio. And what I would have to say about leadership and resilience is being a leader, you have to deal with a lot of different challenges, situations, and it's important to be able to deal with what's in front of you and to be able to move on to the next and not carry that forward into the next situation. I suffered a ruptured aneurysm in front of my staff in a staff meeting. So I was on the receiving end of a code blue. That was quite an experience. That is why I feel like I have authority to talk to you about becoming a person of influence. Because I was already a person of influence, but I didn't know it until I had that experience. You want to be able to learn from that experience and use that knowledge. But let's say if it's a negative experience, you don't want to go into that next experience assuming it's going to be negative. You have to assume that it's going to be a positive experience. Just like a person, for instance, that maybe has done you wrong in the past, or you feel like, oh, it's going to be one of those times again. You need to go forward into that situation assuming positive intent out of that person, because how you respond to them will be birthed from how you step into the situation. And if you assume, well, maybe this time it's going to be different, and then you'll be more open and you'll be more willing to see their perspective, and you won't have a negative viewpoint. And so that's how I think resilience is helpful as a leader.
Does your faith play a role in the way that you lead?
Interesting question. So for me, faith is everything as a leader, but I was not comfortable letting that show in the workplace because I thought I had to hide that. And I thought that I would be in trouble for that, or that I would be reprimanded for that. And then I realized that I didn't have to leave who I am at the doorstep every time that I go to work. It is who I am. And so I need to be me. And so what my faith does is it allows me to care about people very deeply. It allows me to facilitate growth in others. It allows me to see flaws in other people and to realize that just because they're flawed today doesn't mean that they aren't becoming someone, and that they don't have a destination, a journey that they're on. And it allows me to see myself in others. And so once I realized that, I didn't have to turn off my faith in order to be effective at work and to be an effective leader. It has catapulted me to a whole nother level and allowed me to be more authentic. I thought to be a leader that I had to be a little bit more colder and distant, and that I couldn't cry with my staff. I couldn't hold their hand or show them that I had a heart. And I just had to be that stern leader and never waver in the face of adversity. But then I realized that that's not what they needed. They needed a person.
How do you think that impacts them?
Well, since I've been more transparent about myself, when you say you have an open door policy, I think people a lot of times just think that's cliche, but that is true for me, and people take me up on it a lot more often now. And it's not just for work-related things. People come to me to ask me for personal advice about mentoring for jobs, coaching, or they just want to know what they should do about their child or their spouse. I've just become like this life coach type of role in my job, so much so that I've actually developed templates and documents that I keep appointments with some people. And so we actually walk them through, and I've helped people enroll in their programs to advance their education. So it helped me define the fact that I actually have a gift that was given to me to engage with people, and I was hiding it because I was afraid that I would get in trouble, because faith is part of my life. But it's my light though, and I was dimming it and putting the shade on it, and I stopped doing that. And once I did, people started to be more attracted to it. And so that's what happened. And once I stopped putting it in the shadows, it just moth to a flame. Everyone started flocking. Post-traumatic growth, that was new to me. It was more of a positive experience. It was not PTSD, which I was thinking, well, that's what I have. I have PTSD, for sure. That's what I have. But it was different because I felt better than I did better. Not that I would say, I don't advise it. Craniotomies are not awesome. I mean, the care I received was awesome, but I wouldn't advise that kind of trauma. But I was better when I came out on the other side.